Yes. Yes, yes. Yes. No. What's going on, y'all? Soul here, and welcome back to my story mode. So, you've seen the title and you've seen the thumbnail. This is something that's been on the back of my mind for the last 2 years since it's happened, right? I'm forever upset about it, and I'm never gonna let it go. And, you know, again, as you've seen in the title, I don't think I'm gonna forgive Nintendo for this one. Maybe it wasn't Nintendo's decision, maybe it was Cygames. We'll see what happens, right? But we need to talk about this. Anybody that knows me knows that I was definitely very much into Dragalia Lost. I loved the concept for Dragalia Lost. Yes, it was a little plain, it was a little simple, but the art style was super cute, the characters were fun as hell, the events were kind of nice, the crossovers were neat. I enjoyed the concept of Dragalia Lost, and I was thinking, man, if they really took care of this, this could absolutely be a true blue Nintendo IP. Something that we could see a lot more of, something that we could see merch for, something that we could see some actual Switch games for, and things like that. I would totally love to see Nintendo dip into this more like anime fantasy type beat that they had going on with Dragalia Lost. Have no idea why it came to be, how it came to be, what even formulated this to happen, but Dragalia Lost happened, and I was there day one. Downloaded that sucker instantly, right? I personally believe that Dragalia Lost was one of the more fun things that Nintendo ever developed for mobile, and I'm upset. I'm going to forever be upset because every time I think about Dragalia Lost or I see random artwork just kind of floating around on Twitter, you know, the occasional Reddit whenever I go on there once in a blue moon, it's unfortunate to see that it's just gone. It's just wiped off the map. Just, they don't talk about it, they don't bring it up, nothing. And it's like, why? Why did we do this? Right? Because I'm, you know, of the few that, you know, while I truly do appreciate... Hey, my bad, yo. While I really truly do, you know, enjoy a lot of the IPs that Nintendo has, they are already kind of like, you know, iffy when it comes to a lot of their IPs. You know, there's a lot of just IPs that have just fallen off the map with, you know, and that's kind of reasonable, you know. They don't really see themselves gaining, you know, a lot of mileage out of some of their older IPs, like obviously, you know, Star Fox as much, which is their own freaking fault, but, you know, hopefully we see some more Star Fox down the line, but I just wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see it for a very long while. There's a reason that we haven't seen any hide nor hair of F-Zero in a decade, no, in 2 decades, except for, you know, the random F-Zero online game. I don't know why they thought that was going to be the one. I mean, it's cool, it's a neat concept, but regardless, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those rare situations where I really felt like if they took care, you know, proper care of it and everything like that, they could have had yet another super high fantasy RPG type situation on their hands. And I feel like they really did miss that opportunity by just not doing anything else with Dragalia Lost other than, you know, a couple of years with it as a mobile game, you know? All mobile games are just eventually going to kind of just slow down and die out like that unless you're Pokemon Go, you know? And that's not something you should compare yourself to because Pokemon is a different beast entirely, which is, you know, half owned by Nintendo, by the way, but, you know, that's a different topic for another day. I liked Dragalia Lost as a concept, and I really could have seen it as like kind of maybe something of a sister series to Fire Emblem, where you have your main Fire Emblem games as your tactical whatevers, and then you have your Dragalia Lost as a potential action RPG series with a couple of characters that you follow here and there, its own unique story going on. I could have absolutely seen them really taking some good care of that, you know, utilizing that art style and really getting something out of that, you know? But they just never did, and that really sucks because I really like that concept. They had a lot going for it with all of these different characters that are able to transform into dragons and stuff like that. They had the power of gods essentially, and it was really, really cool, you know? I didn't mind going through all those levels, all the crossovers that they did, and I was even hoping one day, I was like, you know what, if they ported this to Switch, quite honestly, I would probably spend more money and time on this game because I just don't use just after a while, I wasn't using my phone for mobile games like that anymore. I had my time in the sun with Pokemon Go, with Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, obviously with Dragalia Lost. I played a lot of mobile games, you know, for a while, and then I just like to save my battery. I like to play my games at my house. I don't always like to, you know, play games outside the house and stuff like that, which is why I would prefer if games like Kingdom Hearts Union Cross or the new one that's coming out. Why am I blanking on games today? Oh my goodness, I just made a video on it. Missing Link, jeez. If games like Missing Link were on, you know, console and stuff like that, I would absolutely invest more time into it. Because honestly, if I'm gonna play a gacha, I'd at least rather have it on my console or my PC or something at home that I could just sit down and comfortably play with. I'm not, you know, if I'm using my phone, I'm using it for like writing or for, you know, just looking things up for videos or just scripting or whatever. I don't know, maybe it's just a mindset for me, you know. I know a lot of people prefer to have their, you know, their games on hand, accessed all the time. You know, everybody's playing their Honkai Star Rail, everybody's playing their Genshin, eventually they're going to be playing their Zenless Zone Zero. I think that's coming to mobile, which is crazy to me, by the way. But regardless, I really do think that Dragalia Lost had some serious potential as a true IP for Nintendo, and them kind of just chucking that to the wind is really unfortunate to me, because those characters, man, oh, those characters were something else. I could absolutely see the main, what's the main name? The main kid's name, it starts with an E, right? Eos or something like that. I remember thinking like, man, if he were in Smash, bro, he would have a really fun moveset. I mean, it would be a little generic as a swordsman and stuff like that, but I could absolutely see, like, you know, him using, you know, like some dragon arms, or like, you know, his final smash actually turning into the dragon that he turns into and stuff like that, or whatever. You know, I just saw some real potential for an IP like that, and if they took proper care of it, we could see some more with that, because, you know, I think about Fire Emblem a lot, right? And this is the closest it is to an IP that they already have, which is, you know, it's fine, I get that. But at its core, you know, Fire Emblem is not an action RPG series, it's a tactical. And so, you know, which is why when we get, you know, the occasional game like Fire Emblem Warriors and stuff like that, it's cool, it's dandy, that's fine and all. But I want a mainline Fire Emblem game to play more like an action RPG like Kingdom Hearts or something like that, with its own unique story, with its own developing characters, with its own, you know, thing going on, you know. And I could have absolutely seen something like that with Dragalia Lost, where we had all these different characters and we can build connections and relationships with them and stuff like that. Because I think there was like some kind of I might be remembering this incorrectly, but I think there was some kind of like a party interaction system with them, right? Maybe I'm tripping. I'm probably just misremembering. But regardless, I could have absolutely seen some kind of an action RPG series coming out of Dragalia Lost, and they just didn't do it, you know? Would it be impossible for them to have ported Dragalia Lost as it was to the Switch? Because I would have played that. You know, I feel like I definitely could have maybe convinced my friends more to play that if it were on their Switches, you know, just a quick free download. You have your controller to do whatever you want to do, and you're doing raids with people online or with friends or whatever. I feel like that would have worked as a Switch game just perfectly fine as it was. I don't really see a reason as to why it couldn't be that. If they could port random ass games like Pokemon Quest or whatever, some random nothing just whatever to the Switch, why are we living in a world where Dragalia Lost couldn't be that too? You know, I mean, I get it, mobile's a much bigger market than almost anything because everybody has a cell phone, so, or I guess rather a smartphone this day and age, so it does make a lot of sense. But at its core, it's just unfortunate, man, just really unfortunate, because it had a really neat story too. It had a whole time skip, it had so many lovable characters and just so many, you know, some fun themes and everything. And I don't know. I think it's a little upsetting that they couldn't just do more with that concept. It's just cooked forever. I'm a little saddened by that, but I guess it is what it is. I mean, I don't know. Maybe, you know, we can see a future where Cygames is willing to put in the effort for something like that, but right now, they got their hands full, man. I don't know if you've seen their most current games right now. Those games look immaculate. The Grand Blue games look ridiculous. I got Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising, whatever. I played it for a little bit. That game is immaculate, right? Don't even talk to me about Relink. I'm super tempted to get Relink because that's essentially what I'm looking for, isn't it? With Dragalia Lost, a version of Dragalia Lost that looks like Relink. And I'm just so sad that we really do live in a timeline where that's just not gonna happen. But oh well, I guess it is. It is what it is. But hey, that is actually probably just me. So that just about does it for this one. I think I just needed to vent a little bit because Dragalia Lost just popped into my mind, and then I got sad again because I get sad every single time that I think about Dragalia Lost, and it's just frustrating. But it's ironic because the video that you're probably going to see before this one is my Kid Icarus video, where I essentially just say I'm not going to give up on that, which is hilarious because I have actually given up on the reality of Dragalia Lost coming back because they don't really have a reason to bring that back, which is so funny to me because how in the world is Fire Emblem Heroes still running? What a crazy time we live in, bro. But whatever, I'm gonna leave it at that. So I'm passing the mic over to you. For the 5 of you that know what I'm talking about, what do you guys think? Was I on to something here? Do you miss Dragalia Lost? Could you have seen some real potential out of it as a Nintendo IP? Or am I talking on my ass? Dragalia Lost had absolutely no potential, and there was really no reason for them to bring it back. Tell me everything that you guys are thinking in the comment section below, because you know for a fact that I'm always going to be down there with you guys. But with that, it does appear to be skedaddle o'clock. So I'm going to go ahead and do just that. I'd like to thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and consider subscribing for more content just like this here. And with that, I'm gone. So thanks again, hope you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in my next video. Do me the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time.